Good morning, everyone. So today is the 15th, I think. Let me look. Today is Tuesday, July 15th, 2025. That's what we call it anyway. That's what we call the time that we're on and the day that we're on. So good morning. I hope you're all having a great morning, a great day. It's about 6 a.m. here. I promised you guys that I would get on yesterday, and my day went sideways and I didn't get on. This is why I shouldn't make promises. You know, I'm one of these people that I like things to be very organized. I have a schedule. I work by my schedule. I have a list of priorities. You know, I've always been that way. I just really like organization. And the universe challenges me on that all the time. I know it's because I need to let go of this, but it's how I operate well. So I don't really want to let go of it. It works for me. But I have become more flexible, I think. It's one of those things I'm working on, I guess. But I'm sorry about that. I didn't get on yesterday, but I am here today. I knew I wasn't going to be able to get on in the morning, and then I had thought that I would be able to get on late afternoon, like right before evening started. And then things shifted and changed. And then I thought, well, maybe after I cook dinner, I can do one. And my whole night was it didn't go as planned, put it that way. So that's why you didn't see me yesterday. Sorry about that, you guys. But I'm here today. So let me get a sip of my coffee. Because coffee is important. And let me move a few things around. So, the last reading that we did said things were probably going to get a little bit bumpy, so don't panic. You know, don't panic. Just make sure that you've got your life balanced. We're in for a little bit of bumpy time. And so regarding the bumpy times, I just want to remind everybody that we've been through plenty of bumpy times, and we managed. We got through it, right? So spirits up, get your lives balanced, do what you got to do, and stay positive during whatever bumps might be coming our way. All right, so let's take a look. We're at the 15th. Let's take a look, please and thank you, for the energy that covers the rest of this month that we call July, which is, you know, we've got a couple more weeks. But let's get a card for the energy that covers the next couple of weeks that we have left in this month, what we call July. Please and thank you. Card for that. One more shuffle. The healing intentions are always set for you folks, so if you so choose, go ahead and breathe that in and integrate it into the body. And that's all you've got to do after you've decreed it for your highest and greatest good, only and always. Don't follow links from anybody in the channel soliciting you guys for anything. Yeah, don't do that, scammers. So the energy that we have for the next couple of weeks is the 4, and that's hold on. So holding on means, you know, be logical, because the 4 is always doing the work to create balance in your life. And when you do the work to create the balance, you're doing that from the logical mind. You're really kind of assessing your situation and being very logical. So be very logical, assess your situation, balance out your household, grab whatever needs that you might be having, but stay very well balanced within and stay very well balanced within your home, your land, your needs. So let's go ahead and get a 7-card spread off of that, please and thank you. Yawning. I've got a very full day today, so I'm hoping the shower, when I get off here, I'm going to hop in the shower because I have a very full day. I'm hoping that shower shifts things for me. It's 100% humidity here right now, so it's pretty sticky. All right, so please and thank you. A story off of the overall energy for the month of July where you're telling people to hang on. So let's get a 7-card spread there, please and thank you. Let me push you back. That works better, I think. With you pushed back a little bit. I think there's going to be some focus on some kids. Interesting. All right, so hold on. The month of July, right? So the month of July, people are going to start to feel pretty beat up. It's going to feel very beaten up. People are going to feel, you're going to feel it in your daily life. Like, yeah, the rods are your physical journey. That's your physical day-to-day life. And this is the 9. So we're ending a cycle of that feeling of being beaten up. Justice is coming. Justice is on its way across from that. My goodness, we feel like we've just been through it. Ending a cycle, justice comes in, balances the scales, brings in that higher vibration of 11, which is awakening, new beginnings, new ideas, just a higher vibration that justice is going to bring. Justice doesn't always feel high vibrational, though. But the overall energy of it is to create that high vibration. You know what I'm saying? So the energy that is driving our pathway, the energy driving our pathway right now for the month of July is a balance between the dark and the light. She is pretty high vibrational, but her vibration, she's all about vibration. But she can feel uncomfortable. The vibration can be so high or so low that she feels uncomfortable. Like, she feels it physically. She feels it physically, holding that balance there. So it's going to be really important for us to hold the balance between the dark and the light. Stay very balanced, which is what 4 is all about as well. But keep our vibrations up. I know I personally have felt the weight of like the universal energy right now, and it's very heavy. So I'm sure a lot of you people are feeling it too. And, just do a little extra stuff for yourself. Like, do a nice spiritual cleanse on your house. Keep your vibration up. Keep grounding into earth, connecting with heaven. Do a little smudge. Set your intentions. Listen to music. Meditate, do the things that will keep you in a higher vibration, okay? So there's going to be some discomfort, vibrational discomfort that drives this reading, because that high priestess feels the discomfort. She's holding balance between the dark and the light. It's quite a job. All right, so people are feeling beat up, but that's the end of a cycle. Justice is coming in. things are going to be uncomfortable. We got to hold balance. And then we come up and we've got this kid stuff going on. So we have our two kids that are sharing and caring. It looks like the world's falling apart around them. And then above that, we have our Eight of Swords. And that is, the truth is actually out there and around you, but we're choosing to not see it. Or we just have to shake the bandages off so that we can see it. So it seemed to me like a lot of people are upset about the kid stuff. And I have seen a lot of bitching about the Epstein, this Epstein stuff. We did a reading on that last week or the week before. So it looks like that is a big piece of the energy that's causing a lot of chatter in the community and a lot of focus. And you guys, that's actually good because people need to get riled up, right? So you and I, we've all been riled up for a long time because we've been holding knowledge of things that happen to our kids when other people have been kind of sleepy and not buying that story. They lied and debunked Pizzagate, and people just put that away, and then they just don't take things as seriously because they listen to the news who tells them not to take it very seriously. So this whole issue with, giving the Epstein bait and then pulling it back, and the Diddy bait and all of this stuff going on, it is serving a purpose, you guys. It's serving the purpose of the communities chattering about this and focusing on it. They don't understand what's truly going on. They can't see because they're not full on awake yet. But it's doing something within the community to move people along to feeling like they really need this justice. And it's a major focus being talked about within communities. And their anger, which is righteous, right? That's righteous anger when these kids are being screwed with and justice doesn't seem to be taking place and your government officials seem to be trying to hide things from you. And that's what it looks like on the world stage. That anger is righteous, and that's probably why some of us are feeling the discomfort of the energy. But it is righteous anger, and so this is a good thing that people are getting riled up about it, so that they will scream for justice. That's a good thing, because for too long, people believed it was all bullshit, right? So, things are shifting. Things are shifting, you guys. So that's a big piece of things that are going to be happening here in this month of July. More people are going to be screaming for justice. There's going to be more of a focus on the children. The communities are really going to be talking about it. A lot of uncomfortable energy. That's part of what we're looking at for July. And so now, see, we're seeing on the back channels, we see the busts, like we see the child trafficking busts, and that makes us feel good every time we see something like that. But I don't know if they're actually reporting any of that good news on the regular news, because the regular news doesn't want you talking about what happens to the kids. So, but anyway, we're seeing it. A friend of mine just sent me something this morning. Over 1,000. I can't remember. It was still pretty early. But I think over 1,000 people busted, or over 1,000 children. I'll have to go back in and I'll have to read it again, but it was something good that happened as far as a bust. So that's part of what's going on energetically. So let's get the rest of the story, because we know things are so multifaceted right now. Let's go ahead and let them continue talking about this month. So a lot of it's going to be people feeling pretty pissed off, beaten up, screaming for justice, focusing on they need the justice. This is talked about in communities. The energy is uncomfortable, but there's a lot going on around the children. What happened, the children, and the information out there regarding probably Epstein and Ghislaine, or however the hell you pronounce her name, and also how those kids are taken and bound. And there is a lot of good information out there that might make them feel a little better, but they're not looking there, you see. They're not that level of awake yet. All right. And that's good. We need the righteous anger. We need people to wake up and go through all the same phases that every single person that has ever woken up to what happens to the children has gone through, which is, sadness and anger, and, these are emotions that you have to go through. It's like grief. You have to go through the emotions. So the righteous anger is good. Let's get more of a story here, you guys. Let's see what else they get to say around the month of June. We can let them talk off of this, because these cards can serve multiple purposes the way we lay them down. So let's see. Okay, so they're losing faith in systems, whole communities. People are really losing faith in these systems. That's good. Hearts are breaking, and there's a major focus on these kids. Oh, it looks like some people are even starting to discover other things. See, it will lead you down rabbit holes, which is good. That's the awakening. All right, so, yes. People are losing faith in these systems. They're very much losing faith in the systems. Their hearts are breaking. There's a major focus, and it's really getting to them. And that's good. It really got to all of us too, right? So this card can be looked at two ways, right? Because we're looking at children here. We're looking at children, and we know what they do with the party drug. So I think there's coming to light. More and more people are starting to find out about this. So this lack of justice in the system for these children that's being focused on and talked about within the communities is causing people to find out a little bit more about this party drug, which is good, and how they make money from that. Okay? Now, and figuring out that the systems are very much involved in that. So people are waking up because of this controversy, you guys. People are waking up because of these Epstein files just not getting put out the way that they had promised. And I think this is a good thing. And it's saying actually down below from this, hearts are breaking because justice isn't being served for these children, which is underneath this card. And there's a huge focus on that. This is actually grounding in a strength that's going to actually help tame the beast. This is what we need. We need more and more people to be awake to this. And then we finish it off with integrity. So, information is going to come out. There is integrity here. And it's just got to go through its course. I think this is serving several purposes here, you guys. So, this is a really good thing. We're finishing this reading off with there is integrity. There is integrity here, and they are working to tame the beast. There is integrity, and they are focused on these kids. There is integrity. Justice it's helping to tame the beast. They're working hard to tame the beast. They're working hard to bring in justice, and they're just as focused as any of us are. There is integrity. They know what they're doing with the kids. They know how they make their money. They understand that there is a real battle going on, and that battle is nearing. within these systems that have been doing these things, you guys. So the light is at play here, but the people need to wake up in this way. And so this is a good thing, and this is part of the bumps. So they really want you to know that have no fear. It may look one particular way, but it's not really the way that it looks. But it's serving to get people riled up. And people need to be riled up about these things. They really do. So let me get another sip of my coffee. Hold on, you guys. I hear a noise. I'm just going to pause you so you don't have to hang out with me for so long. Hold on. All right, I'm back. I think it was just the goats banging around. Okay, so that's one of the things. So let's look. Anything else that you want to tell us about the things that will feel a bit bumpy here in the month of July? Please and thank you. Anything else? We'll do another 7-card spread. There's 4 pentacles here, so we're working off of that 4 of pentacles, so we know there's more to it. So that's one of the things in the month of July. Let's check out and see what else we got. 4 bumpiness in the month of July. Please and thank you. Trying to figure out where to put the cards, you guys. Let's see. Push that one back up. I pulled it down kind of in the way. All right. We got more kids stuff going on here. All right, so the month of July, we do have something healing coming in. We have a healing frequency coming in, something high frequency, and it's going to really balance the scales. It's going to really balance something out. It's going to make something much better. We've got these swords, so it's going to be talked about, brought to us. Something good, though, something that we can rejoice in. And so it's going to be something about frequency and how we've been, how our frequencies have been lowered. Something that's healing, though. And this is a binding of the eyes. I think I know where this is going because I just did a reading on this the other day. So this is like a binding of the eyes that you can't see, a binding of your intuition so you can't feel. And then it starts with the children, and we've got all of these pokey things. So information about things on the earth plane coming in and affecting these children's vibrations. We've got these swords. So I think that they're talking to us about vaccines right now, needles that we give to our children from a very young age. Put this like fluid into their bodies via the needles that sort of holds them back. All of these things that they're finding here on the earth plane to inject into us may not always be the healthiest, and it actually starts separating us from our third eye and our intuition at a very young age. And so there's going to be some more healing talk about integrity in these jabs. Am I getting this correct? Please and thank you. More talk about the childhood vaccines and the things that need to be taken out of them and why they're not good. Am I getting this correct? So that's part of, there's going to be more talk there as we work to heal this, you guys. So rejoice. Is that correct? The month of July. more talk about what needs to come out of these vaccines. Is that correct? Yes. So we're going to get a win, you guys. So see how things need to be balanced. First they tell us about anger and the energy there, which lets us know that we need to balance ours. But that's righteous anger, believe me. So, and next they tell us there's some healing stuff coming in, more healing regarding our children, and taking more things out of the vaccines, you guys. So I think it's good that they're doing it this way, that they're pulling stuff, that they're saying we need to pull this out and we need to pull this out. Because there are people that are very much medically brainwashed. And if we just took these vaccines off the shelf, people would shit their pants, quite literally, and think everyone was going to die without these vaccines. So it's best that they show people the poisons that were in them, one poison at a time or one thing at a time, and they say we're going to pull these things. I think this is a good way to wake people up medically. Because if you just took vaccines away from people, they'd all flip a nut. So that's part of what we're going to hear more about. We're going to hear more about the things in the vaccines, the jabs, and how they start affecting the children. You know, whatever the content is that they put in the jab, how that affects the children at a very young age, and isn't good for them, right? It isn't good for them. So it's breadcrumbs, they say. It's just a little bit, it's like here's a little good stuff for you. But with these little tiny dabs and bits of good things, it really does help to balance the scales, you guys. So that's good news. All right. So that's one of the things for the month of July. Justice will be coming. And people is hollering for it. They're mad. So that's good. That's very good. All right, so let's get another 7-card spread for the month of July. So that's a good thing. We're happy about that. Of course, that's going to upset people. You know, I'm sure every time they hear that this ingredient was in there and this is what it can do, it upsets them, and that's good. That's good. So that's part of the energy that we're feeling that's heavy, you guys. That's part of it. So all right, let's see. What else you got to say about things that might make things feel a bit bumpy in the month of July? Please and thank you. So we've done 3. One more shuffle. Systems. Ending. Ooh, surrendering. Fast-moving energy coming our way. It's going to feel pretty... It's going to feel icky. All right, you guys, so another thing that might feel a little bumpy. Yeah, you can see those. I don't have to move them around. I did pretty good that time. So another thing that might feel a little bumpy in the month of July is we've got some things, great change going on within our systems. And with the Hierophant, you guys know that's all the systems that are a bit corrupted and not really working for the highest and greatest good for the people, right? So there's some chaos there. Some things are going to end, but the ending is a good thing. There's going to be some stilling. So there might be disruptions. There's going to be certain stillings within the systems, you guys. And this is going to, these stillings are going to actually create an ending, which is a good ending. And then you know, it's not just here in this country, it's like worldwide. So there's going to be disruptions. There's something that's being surrendered to completely, and the energy there is moving fast. But the problem with this is that that's going to not necessarily feel good. So people are going to be upset, disappointed as new things are coming in, but because they're only going to be able to focus on the things that are being spilt for whatever the reason. So let's get a little bit more story around this so that we can get an in-depth look at what they're saying here. Because stilling within the systems, we're looking at technology and technology, right? And we're looking at earth pleasures. So that could be money. We're looking at stilling of systems. So, you know, don't forget that this card here says to hang on. And I said the other day when we got that things could get a little bumpy, make sure you get a little cash on hand. So as I see these systems stilling, the reason why I was saying have a little cash on hand, I think was because we got some swords in that reading too. I can't remember. But it's always good too when they tell you to be balanced and hang on. Because if they're stilling things within these systems, we know that we run a lot of what we're doing, you guys, runs from technology. So let's say you needed a little something and you didn't have cash on hand, and your credit card, not your credit card, but your debit card or your credit card or whatever, something in that system wasn't working right now, it would be good to have a little cash on hand so that if the system is stilled for a bit and you need whatever it is that you might need, you'll still be able to do your transaction. So when we're looking at stilling of the systems, because there's something that's being surrendered to, not just here, but about the world, it is good to hold on. Now, when you're looking at this stilling, it's going to make people feel I'm great. And then we've got our earthly pleasures card. So earthly pleasures directly connected to our systems, you guys. So that could be anything that you might need. So there might be a stilling in whatever you might need for an earthly pleasure. Supply chain issues is what I'm trying to say. So there might be a little bit of a supply chain issue for a little bit. It's not giving me any cards here that say it's going to be a supply chain issue and, oh, here's the Hunger Games coming on. It's not looking like that. It's just a stilling. It's like there could be some difficulties. So just make sure that you've got a little bit of cash on hand and, you know, balance out whatever you need. Like, just stay balanced. Don't go out and panic buy and stuff, but something's moving in quickly as there's a surrendering of something. We're going to get more of a story. So there could be internet interruptions, supply chain issues, maybe trouble, you know, using your debit cards. Just there's a surrendering to systems, creating endings. It's going to move in something new, fast. And in order to move this in, they are going to have to still things a little bit, not just here, but all over. And because we're so used to having everything on demand, people are going to be focused on what they're not getting. And they're literally not going to know what's truly going on, because that's behind us, out of the scene. So they're going to say, oh, the power's out. What the hell? Was that a accident? Or, oh, the internet's down. Or, oh, my debit card wasn't working for several hours. Or, oh, geez, you know, I've gone to the store several times, went to several stores and couldn't get pasta. Or whatever. It's going to be stuff like that. It's what I'm seeing here. So, am I picking up what you're laying down here? Am I gathering the information that you're giving us here correctly so far, please and thank you. One more shuffle, I'll get a card, and then I'll let them talk more. I'm seeing it correctly. So the secondary message with this is, that's 3, that's always joy. I'm seeing it correctly, but the secondary message with this is things will be cleared. So things are getting cleared, and that kind of goes hand in hand with this, right? So things are being cleared. There's a way being cleared, which would be going hand in hand with this, because we always read the secondary message to go. It's another piece of this message. Does that make sense? Or at least, no, when I say we, I mean me. That's how I read. So yeah, I'm seeing it correctly so far, you guys. So let's just give a couple more shuffles and give them a little bit more time to talk there. And a little more insight there. This looks like it's like a alliance, good military controlled operation. So when things get stilled for a bit within these systems, you guys know that this is white hat control. Good alliance, military, really working to heal these systems and bring balance back in to do something good with them. So when there are things being stilled, stay in that high vibration and know that this is white hat control here. This is part of the transformation that's been being worked on worldwide to just change the way everything's done here on the earth plane. So keep the vibes high. Don't get too upset. And that's what they told us with the last reading, and that's what they always tell us. Don't get upset. Don't panic. Don't flip a nut. Use your logic. This is all being done, white hat. It will cause chaos. Now we've got the chaotic system card, and then we've got the chaos down here with the rods. So people are going to feel a little chaotic, and because people can't handle anything anymore. What the hell happened to humanity? We used to be tough, and now if people can't be on the internet 24/7 or stuck in their phones 24/7, they're flipping out. Now I'm just going to go on just a tiny rant, you guys, just a tiny one. I think it was October of 2017 or 2018. I'm actually more inclined to believe it was 2017, but I'm not sure. We had a tropical storm come through in October, and it knocked the power out for a good little bit in my area. Now, we lose power here pretty consistently, and it's always been that way my whole life, so you just maneuver with it. You have yourself set up so that if you lose power, you're not reeling. And I think anybody that lives here should have, especially if you're my age or older, you should know these things, and you should always be set up for a power outage. I mean, what the hell? But anyway, in 1998, we had a major ice storm. And here I didn't have power for 21 days. So that's 3 weeks, and was it a pain in the ass? Well, of course, because we're used to modern day living, but it's nothing that we didn't get through. And everybody was helping each other, and they were very, very good. We had lots of power outages in between 1998 and 2013. But a lot of things changed between 1998 and 2013. People changed. They had more technology. They were stuck in their phones, stuck on their games. A lot changed between 1998 and 2013. 2013 was another very significant power outage. It was horrible. It was in December. It was terrible. I lost my brother in that storm. So it was a horrible situation. And instead of people being kind and looking out for their neighbor and helping their neighbor, people were pushing each other out of the way and trying to crowd in front of each other at the gas pumps so that they could get fuel to run their generators. It was absolute bullshit, and it made me sick to my stomach, right? That's 2013. And of course we had more power outages and stuff, but they don't always last a long time, right? It could be a day or two. People don't get their panties too much in a wad if it's only a day or two. But we had another one in 2017 that was fairly significant and lasted a long time, and people were just acting even worse than they did in 2013. So, yeah, people don't treat each other very kindly, sadly. In 2020, people were pushing each other out of the way to steal the last roll of toilet paper and just doing ignorant bullshit like that. And so you might see some of this, you guys. You might see really bad behaviors within communities when there's this stilling going on. So keep your eye out for that and avoid it. So, avoid areas where people will act like jerks. Yeah. Definitely avoid that. Ugh. Yeah, dark energy around that, you guys. Some really, really dark energy creating bad behavior in the communities. Just know that it's white hats in control, but look, yeah, this is like icky, icky, icky energy that could come in around any of this stuff. So hold on and be well balanced, because with this you could see, what would you see? Depending on where you are, not just fighting amongst each other in the stores or whatever, but you might even see, unfortunately, like looting, things like that within the communities. Really bad energy, really bad energy. So hold on there. This has been kind of brewing for a long time. The bad energy has. All right. It's been brewing for a long time, but know that white hats are controlling this, and this is all part of the transformation. All right. So did I? Have I delivered this piece of the message to everybody? Pretty okay. And then what I'll do is I'll pull them all up, and I'll let you guys speak a little bit more on this, because that's really dark energy and chaos. So I just want to know if I've gotten this piece of things correctly, if I'm doing an okay job delivering this message, please and thank you. This energy has been brewing for a long time. I would say there have been certain people just waiting for the right opportunity to use this particular energy to cause disruptions. So that could even be like paid for riots, and paid. You know how they'll pay people to go in and create the chaos. We've seen it all. We've seen it all. So it could be stuff like that too that you'll want to keep your eye out for. And that means, avoid it, right? Don't avoid going into places where communities are acting out badly. Avoid going into the areas where it could be like that. So am I reading this right so far? Please and thank you. And then I'll pick them all up and let you guys keep talking a little bit more on this dark energy. Am I seeing it so far? I'm seeing it. I'm seeing it. the wish for the way that they wished for me to deliver this to you, I'm seeing it correctly. But remember, the good military has this. They've got it. So they'll definitely oversee any chaos that comes in. And, you know, this is just part of what we've got to go through within our neighborhoods and this great change that's going on. So we are definitely going to see some darker, some disruptions and some, you know, icky energies at play. So I'm just going to pull these all up, and I'm going to just let them say a few more words around that. But, you know, it said the white hats, the white hats got this. Like, the good military, good people, they've got this, you guys. So, all right. So I'm just going to let you guys keep talking. I'm actually even going to shuffle these ones in, the holding on and the seeing it correctly, and shuffle them all in and just give you a fresh start to go ahead and just continue that. If there's anything more with that, we'll just do a downward conversation to see if there's anything more there that you want to say. Whoops. We'll do 4 cards, and then we'll see, you know, from there if there's a need for more, but we'll start with the 4 down. So we'll go 1, 2, 3, and 4. All right, so 4 cards down. Anything more that they want to say about the icky energy that will, you know, that darker energy. So there is a major focus on bringing things into balance and healthy and happy and, you know, good and fair. And so they want, you know, they want us to stay focused on these good things. Right. So, you know, that Queen of Pentacles, she's very focused. And on her own, she is focusing on what it is that she wants, what it is that she needs, you know, for the earthly pleasures here, and she's manifesting that. She's lining up right now with the King. And the King, so she's manifesting the needs and good things like that, not in a way of greed, but she's just manifesting her needs, right? And then you have the King lined up right down below her. And the King is a very fair man. He's very fair. And he is all about the earth plane as well. Like creating abundance of things that can make people healthy and keep people fed and keep your bills paid. And, you know, keep a nice, fair, abundant, happy land that he's the leader of. So these are 2 very good cards, right? So there's a very big focus here on the earth plane by people who give a shit to do that, to manifest a world that's a little more abundant, that people can live much more abundantly, more comfortably, more healthily in, right? So as this is being focused on, things have to be cleared out of the way. People have to be able to have that clear view of the reason why these systems have been hurting people, you guys. So part of what we're doing here is what they're saying. Part of what we're doing here as we focus to create something better, the bumpiness is creating the vision so that people can see the suffering. And that's what they're trying to tell us right now, I think. So they want to bring us back into balance by giving us the good news. It's all about balance, you guys. So they tell you what you might have to experience, and then they explain to you why, and they want you to focus on the good things, right? So am I getting that piece of the message correct? Please and thank you. People have to see. They want to talk more. I was going to let you guys talk more. I was actually deciding on where I wanted to do it or how I wanted to do it, but I'm just going to give you 4 more cards. So I've given you half the message. You guys know that anyways, but if there's any new viewers. So I gave you half the message, and there's more to say, which I was going to let them do anyway. But I just wanted to make sure I got that piece of things correct. And now I'm just going to let them have 4 more cards instead of 3. So let me get my coffee. All right, so I gave you half the message, but then we used this as a portion of the message, right? And then we come down, and you can see this real sad stuff and this devil card, right? So hold on, let me get my coffee. It's going cool on me, and all of my cream is rising to the top. All right, so there has to be this focus. There's a big focus on creating something better, but for right now, because we're talking about this bumpy time, in order for people to see clearly the human suffering, these bumps have to happen, right? Because there is an imbalance on the earth plane. And when you look at this is our pentacles, but it's our earthly pleasures. But there's also like this roller coaster of waves in the background, okay? So it's also very emotional. And then we come down and we have these cups that are spilling. And that's like shoulders are hunched, head is down, chaos for vibration with that 5, great change coming in. And it just feels really bad, okay? So what are we looking at when we're looking at this? People have to see the human suffering. They have to see the imbalances. They have to feel it on the earth plane. Now, don't forget that we've got water back here. So they're not just talking about how this cabal has, I don't believe, and I'm going to ask for clarification, obviously, but they're not just talking about how the cabal has created a vibration for human suffering, how the cabal has created a money system for human suffering, how they're destroying everything vibrationally with the things that they put in our air, our food, our water. But I think with these waves and the way this reading is going, they're also talking about like weather manipulation. It's everything. And people have to see this, right? So people have to see everything that these bastards have done. And, you know, you've already been through the roller coaster of the emotions, and you're still riding it. Because to hold great knowledge, you know, there's a huge responsibility with that. And we're humans. And we have empathy, and we have compassion, and we get pissed off. And, you know, when you hold the knowledge, then you have the eyes to see it, right? And so you guys already have this going on within you. This has got to happen with a lot more people, though. People that, they have to understand. They have to hold the knowledge. They have to see. Not everybody, but people are going to be holding knowledge. And so with this disappointment and all of this, that's going to help actually break these chains that are binding us so that we can start something new. And before I go on, I can just tell that there's more. So before I even ask, I'm just going to keep going down with this, coming down this way, because I can just tell that that's not a complete story. Not even close, you guys. How far am I in? I can't even really see, honestly. I need new glasses. So, I can't really tell how far we are in. I would have to get right up close to that camera to see the time at the top. I've got it just a little ways further back than I sometimes do. Okay. So again, they're giving us more of a story, okay? So, yes, people are going to be very disappointed. A lot of imbalances are going to be exposed. These chains that have been creating the imbalances and the bad things, they're going to be exposed, you guys. Something new. Something new in a way in the physical journey that's never happened before. There's going to be exposures here. That it's something new, like more than you think. I think a lot of people have been feeling as though that's not going to happen, but it is going to happen. It's coming in to show us these imbalances and who's been creating them and the human suffering. It's coming in that way. So when that comes in, that exposure here in our physical journey, that's when we're really going to get to this healing point where people are going to just have to go through this, you guys. It's just what it is. So if people are going through this energetically, again, we have to keep our vibes up. But healing is coming in. There's been a lot of work done. People working together to break these chains and to bring in something new to expose these guys. And so it is going to happen. They're reassuring us that there's an exposure of, a lot of the stuff that's gone on in as far as the human suffering, so that people will be able to see it clearly. It is coming, you guys, and we can be rejoicing because people are working hard. Rejoice, rejoice. People are working and have been coming together to bring a different way. It's like people expect exposure one way, but it's like this is a new way of bringing in exposure to break these chains. It's just a new way of doing things. We're going to have to see what the hell that means. But let me see if I'm gathering this right. Please and thank you. Have I delivered this correctly so far? Please and thank you. Have I delivered this correctly so far? There's something new about the way the exposure is going to come. It's very interesting. Is this correct so far? Please and thank you. They want to talk more. Okay, so I don't know what I should go off of. There's a lot of lies out here as we end this cycle, you guys. I'm just going to set it here. A lot of lies as we end this cycle. Ooh, a lot of lies around, death and destruction, and it's going to be so terrible. So they don't want you fretting because the white hats are in control. This is my good military. Don't fret, you guys. Very important that you know that. Let me know what you're hearing for fear porn if you've heard any. But they don't want you fretting because there's a lot of lies out there about, it's going to be so bad, death, destruction, terrible, terrible times. They're saying the white hats are in control, and they've got groundwork done, and they're ready to break ground when things get bumpy. And working together, we're going through something really good, but it's going to seem very bumpy. And the way exposure comes in is a new way. It's not the way we're used to. And I would just like one last piece of a message off of that. But so now have I given them what you would like to say within this reading? That as the imbalances are showed, as people get upset, as as people start seeing the human suffering, people that hadn't, when the proof comes in that shows this very dark side of things, and people that have worked with them to do terrible things, and adrenochrome, and people that have worked, together to bring healing and celebrations because they've been doing the good stuff in the background. there's a new way of bringing the journey of exposure in. There's something new there that they're going to do. And people will be able to see. And because of this stuff that's going on, you guys, and because of these bumps, there's going to be a lot of lies and worrying and fear porning, and don't fall for it. There's going to be a lot of lies around the death and the destruction, but know that the good military has this. Groundwork's already done for when things get bumpy, and they're just waiting to ground in what they need to do for if things get too bumpy and out of control. Have I got that? Please and thank you. Did I give that information? Please and thank you. That's a lot of cards. Please and thank you. I think this is probably going to be a long one. With one card, please and thanks. Exposure 7. Okay, they're going to talk. They want to talk because this is interesting. So, yep, there's a surprise coming. I've delivered you some good. I've delivered you some bad. There's something I haven't delivered. With the 7, if you seek the information that we got today, we should probably be able to dig things up or dig things up soon enough. So let's talk about that thing that's covered that they want to talk about, please and thank you. I didn't really give you bad news. I gave you I gave you the dark, bumpy stuff, but I also gave you the good news with this, right? But then there's this piece that they want to cover that we haven't covered yet. So let's take a look. That's red. So that's courage, strength. That could be a lot of things. Well, let's not, let's just see what they want to use that for, right? It's really gloomy right now, you guys, but they say it's going to burn off and it's going to be very sunny and that it's going to be hotter than the gates of hell. It's very humid, so we'll see how that goes throughout the day. All right, so continue the story. What is the piece that you want to talk about, please and thank you, that we haven't discussed yet? All right. We've got our pentacles. So pentacles can represent gold. Their money, earthly pleasures. They could represent silver. They could represent a lot of things. So I think so earthly pleasures doesn't surprise me that that's coming up, because that's that root chakra, and that's what grounds us to the earth. Gives us what we need. Whether we feel like we have what we need or whether we feel like we're in lack, that's all within that root chakra, right? So the thing that they want to talk about here is the earthly pleasures. So that could be money. I think it's probably money, and I'm going to just double check with that. So work being done on the money system and some energy moving fast towards that money system. And with that, it's like if we're talking money and energy moving around it, some of it could go up and some of it could go down. Right? So some might go up, which drops the value of something else. And they don't want people getting really freaked out about this, because they're giving us our Queen of Swords. So she brings it to you straight, and she tells the truth. So Obviously, there's information out there for you folks around this. There has to be, if they're giving you that Queen of Swords. And so with that Queen of Swords, I don't know, this might be for people who are invested. With that Queen of Swords, there's good information for you about the quick moving energy around these markets and investments. So then next we have this groundbreaking physical journey. Lots of groundwork done in what, you guys? That financial sector. Something's coming in right now, and it's going to be coming in fast. That's going to be grounding in. Now, it's got integrity, okay? So we've got two very integrity driven cards. And with our king, he's prosperous. She brings it to you straight, but he's the king, so there's quite a lot of prosperity behind him and integrity behind him. He's a little more gentle with his words. So as this energy comes in really fast and you have the king who's just a little more gentle, it might, like, things might seem as though they're speeding up, and then they might slow down just a little bit, but things are moving quick within this financial system. And it really is going to help humanity get over the hump, to bring you in feeling a little safer, a little better about things. This is the problem, though, you guys. You have to hear. You've got to listen with ears to hear. Because during this up and down, with this up and down, with this financial system, with your investments, with this fast-moving energy, there is deception. You've got to be very careful. You've got to pay very close attention to who you listen to. Step back and take a very broad view, you guys. Because things are moving so fast, you are going to have you're going to have people coming in and trying to deceive you. So make sure you're listening to very, very truthful and very, very truthful, straightforward people with integrity, because there's going to be deception, and you're being warned. You're being warned not to just listen to every Tom, Dick, and Harry. There's a big fluctuation. There's energy really moving around our finances right now. And people are going to get deceived. They're going to be duped. They're going to get, some people will get screwed if you listen to everything. So you be very careful with your finances, you guys. Don't just get on these back channels and listen to any Tom, Dick, and Harry to tell you to invest in any this or that or the other. Or you make sure you research anything that you're investing in. Make sure that you research any companies that you're working with to invest in gold or silver or currencies or cryptos or whatever. Just please, you guys, you're being warned to be very, very careful. Because there are crooks out there right now that are going to take advantage of this fast-moving energy, that with this up and this down with our financial system. So you're being told to really, 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 really don't allow yourself to be deceived and have money taken from you during this time, which is actually going to be, when it's all said and done and this new stuff is grounded in, it's going to be better for humanity. But during this time here, people are out there to take advantage of you. So my guides really want to warn you about that. Is that how did I do? Is that correct? Did I do a good job delivering that, please and thank you? So people are going to get scammed, you guys. Don't be one of them. Yes, I did good. I gave you a good boatload of information. They want to talk just a little bit more about the money, you guys. It's going to be a long read, and you can listen to it in increments. So let's talk about the money a little bit more. Or it's something within the earth plane. Anyways, let's see what they want to say. Don't get scammed. I gave you good information. There's going to be a lot going on out there. There's some massive, massive energy around that money right now, you guys. Like influx of ups and downs. It's like a fast moving energy. So don't get scammed. Don't get ripped off. Don't be silly. Don't be foolish. You know. All right, let's see. What else do they want to say in this section? I gave you a boatload of information, but there's more. Let's see if it's still money or if it's something else of the earth plane. All right, you guys. So, prayers are being answered, okay? So this is something that we've been praying for. Prayers are being answered. Things are shifting. Prayers are being answered. They want you to know that. Prayers have actually been being answered for a long period of time. So rejoice, because there has been a lot of work from a lot of good people that have done a lot of stuff for a long time to help lift vibration and answer prayers and balance things out. The whole point is to get humanity over this hump. To get us over this hump, to bring us together, to literally walk us away from things that just, you know, maybe they weren't that bad, maybe it didn't seem that bad for everybody, but they didn't really serve anyone. And this is something that's going on the world over. And they just want you to know that right now we are in this major period of enlightenment. And with enlightenment, it's like it's a stilling, it's a slowing. Enlightenment, you have to work to create balance in your home, in your life, because things can be difficult or uncomfortable as you're hanging there by one leg, right, in the yoga position. But enlightenment is coming in and balance is coming in. And just right now we're sort of in this state of limbo. So I'm just going to let them keep talking. They're giving us an inspirational message here as we close out. I'm going to shuffle a little bit more and let them just talk a little bit more. And get another drink of my coffee. So limbo, we're at the stage right now. They're talking about being in limbo, and so I will come this way and this way, because as if I'm going off of that, right? Cut them. So, the limbo phase. All right, you guys, let me move this out of the way and make sure that you can see every one of these. Move that up just a little tiny bit. So there will be a phase that, okay, so I gave you a good portion of the information. There was more that they wanted to say. They're saying, and this is the earth plane, right? The earth plane looks as though they're still wanting to talk about money. All right, so there is some answer into the prayers. Things are happening. They've been happening for a long time with the Queen of Rods. She works on something in the, you know, this is your day-to-day stuff, your physical journey. So she's been working on this. And when I say she, I mean lots of people coming together, working together. on this money system to answer the prayers and lift the vibration of the money system. This is going to help. This is going to be helpful to humanity. It's going to get us over the hump. It's going to be helpful to humanity. And, you know, be careful not to be deceived during this time of transition. Some people, you know, already know to step back and take a broader view. But this is a warning to everybody to step back and take a broader view. Do not be deceived. But things are really happening and have been for a long time. To walk us away from a system that just, though it might not have seemed like it was all that bad to everybody, it just really wasn't working for us. This system hasn't worked for anyone the world over. So no country has ever had a system that's worked for any of us. Not really. Okay? So in order to get us over this hump, there is this work to create a balanced new way of doing things. We have to go through a time of enlightenment, you guys, because people have to understand why these things are being walked away from. And there'll be a period of discomfort always with this hanged man. So there's going to be a period of discomfort. Right? Right now we're in that limbo phase, but kind of that still waiting, okay? But listen, we're ending that cycle. We're coming to the ending of this limbo phase, and there's a lot of lies out there, and there's a lot of stuff out there, and you need to be aware of it. They also don't want you worrying. They don't want you to be worried and upset. When you add these two cards together, the worry and the upset, that causes a panicky feeling. This is like childlike emotions and a mental state of worry. That's like a panic. They don't want you doing this, okay? Because honestly, there's just a lot of lies. People are going to be saying, the sky is falling with this death card. And they don't want you feeling that way. Please don't succumb to this. That death card is only going to be showing you the reasons why the systems need to be healed. In other words, there's probably going to be some problems with the systems so that everybody can see why we need to walk away from this, right? So that death card only shows you the reasons why it's not working and why you have to birth something new. Please don't fall into this despair and this panicking. We will be going through a period of time where it might be a little bit confusing. You're going to have to really use your intuition, you guys. The truth is there. We just need to seek it. Great healing is coming in. So they want you to feel that. They want you to rejoice. They want you to focus on the things that feel good. They want you to know that we're birthing something new. And what we're doing is we're birthing something that's going to make it easier for everyone financially. They're working to create a system that actually works for people, not one that keeps us enslaved. And they really want us to know that. So they really, really, really want you to stay focused on that and not worrying and not panicking and not freaking out and getting into childish behavior and making poor decisions. You're going to have to really work to keep yourself balanced. And I know that you guys are all high vibing and, you know, maybe we're being told this because maybe someone in our family might freak out or panic or whatever, and we'll be that voice that helps calm them during this interesting time that we're going through. Have I delivered this the way that you would like me to? Please and thank you. Been on here. I know it's been at least about an hour and a half because it's saying it's on my bigger clock up there. It's saying it's 7:30. So, been on here a while, and I do have a client this morning coming right up. So, but they had quite a lot to say. So there's stuff going on within the financial system and disruption. There's quite a lot to say, but they want to keep all of us in check. Have I delivered these messages correctly? Please and thank you. I've delivered them to you correctly. Celebrate. Cheers. Cheers. So celebrate, you guys. Celebrate it. This is a needed time, and it will feel however we choose to allow it to feel. And as long as we've used our noggins right, and we've used discernment, and we're fairly balanced out, and we avoid places that might be, not so great, we'll get through whatever the bumps are. But the bumps are going to bring us to much better times. And it's not showing that, like, we're going to be suffering forever. It's just, this is just, it's a little bumpy. You know what I mean? So I've delivered the messages to you correctly. Let's celebrate, rejoice, rejoice, rejoice. It's a long reading. So with that being said, what's the card that you want to leave us off with then? You've given us our warnings. You've told us quite a lot of good stuff, and you've explained a lot of the other stuff. So, what do you want to leave us off with? With what for one card? Stay high vibing. What did they want to leave us with? They wanted to leave us with the High Priestess. So the High Priestess, as you know, too, that's all about balance. So she's keeping her energy balanced. She works to create the balance between the dark and the light. She works to create the balance between the feminine and the masculine, right? She works to create all of this balance. She's like very magical. She's very high vibrational. Her vibration can be so high that it's physically uncomfortable. And as what do you want to leave us off with? We would be talking about keeping our vibrations up and keeping our vibrations high. And so that our vibration isn't uncomfortable as we climb higher, we stay well grounded to the earth, right? So that we keep our vibration comfortable. And that's what they want us to do. Just keep our vibrations high, keep holding the balance within ourselves, within our lives, within the energies, and feel abundant. Know that there's abundance behind us, and just keep doing our job. Be the magical beings to manifest the good stuff. And that's our advice as we close out. So we got a lot of information today, and a boatload of information. And I hope that you found a little value in it. We got, they gave us some good stuff, news coming. They showed us kind of the energies of the month of July. There's going to be some fluctuations with the money. It seems like the food. It seems like earthly pleasures. Some disruptions with technology. There's going to be more people getting pissed off, wanting justice, screaming for justice. There's going to be some good news about more work to take things out of these jabs, exposures there. And I'm an hour and a half in, and I do have a client this morning, so I have to get off. But because I got to get ready for that. I still haven't finished my coffee or taken my shower, so I have to do that. But they said that there's going to be, what I found interesting, and we didn't delve on deeper because of what they wanted to talk about the earth plane stuff, is there's going to be a new way that they're doing something as far as the bringing justice, or I can't remember what it was. Was it bringing justice or bringing, I think it was bringing justice or bringing exposure or whatever. And maybe we can look at that deeper maybe tomorrow. Find out about the exposures and the justice and what that's going to look like in this new way that they're ushering in. So anyways, that's just what I'm getting, you guys. Take from it what you will and toss the rest. But that's what I'm getting. They do not want anyone falling for the fear porn, okay? And getting all panicky and emotional and upset. They don't want that because white hats have this, and this will pass. right? Okay, you guys, I love you all very much. Have a beautiful day. I've got to get off here. So yeah, have a beautiful day. Stay high vibing. Stay in that love vibration. Keep filling your cup full. Fill yourselves full, because, you know, we can't do anything from an empty cup, right? So fill yourselves full. See it going into the earth, coming out of the earth, reaching everything within the ethers, and then fill yourself again. Stay high vibing. Balance out your home. Be logical. Know that we've got this, and great change is coming to break us from that demonic system that we've been living under for so long. All right, you guys, I love you, and I will see you soonish. All right, bye-bye.